And because now Laterras is a member of our church, and now we are engrafting Ashley into the church, I have honorably given her a nickname, and that nickname is Ash. So I'm going to give you a bonus C because you are one of the men in our church, and here's the bonus C. Cash will always encourage Ash.
Welcome back, everybody. Take a seat, relax, unwind, and listen to me. 2 weeks ago, I did a video about Laterras Whitfield and his lavish wedding. And boy, oh boy, did you guys cut up in the comments. This video has about, 43,000 views. And I must say, I was having a lot of fun with this video. And we actually have a whole series going on. Now, if you haven't seen these videos yet, please watch the videos. Bam! Bam! And you need to watch them in order to really get a glimpse of what we're talking about here. So it was nice to see that y'all enjoyed that video, but not everybody enjoyed it because some of you people, and especially the church people, they snatched my entire soul out of my body. Some told me I had to be careful because I might be going to hell, and I will get to you later. Maybe I'll put the comments on the screen. I'm not done with y'all yet because you are ready to condemn somebody coming from the church. And I am just giving my opinion. Just how Laterras is giving his opinion on the show, I am giving mine. Now, I can already hear the people. Why are you doing yet another video, Deb? The videos did well, but leave the man alone. He's married now. Hello? Listen, I am scrolling on these internet streets and I stumble upon these things. Now, I promise you that I'm going to be nice. I'm always nice, but this time I'm really going to be nice because they're married now and it's a union and everything. But this what I saw, we have to discuss. Listen, we cannot leave this out of the series. And I'm almost thinking that Laterras is doing this on purpose. Because how can I not? Now, you might ask, what are we talking about here? We'll get to that. It's just a question that I have. Nothing serious, nothing, but it is important. Now listen, I am no bully of Laterras. So Laterras, listen to me. You went to Aruba. I saw you had a nice time in Aruba, Laterras. I saw it was beautiful. Look at it. Your girl, you're just glowing. You know, so I celebrate this now. We talked about it. We gave you a little pushback. And I heard you want children with her and everything. She's 37. You are 47. You are working on your family. This is a beautiful thing. But you came back from Aruba, and this man, this podcaster, told the audience that you just landed an hour or you came back the previous day and just went straight to his podcast. And you said some things there, and we need to discuss. Now, guys, we are going to look at a clip that Laterras recorded on his Dear Future Wifey podcast before he got married. Right before. So that was about the time that Ashley sent a message to his audience, letting them know, like, it's almost time to reveal myself. And it's something very important that he said in that episode. So we are going to look at that first because it is the catalyst for what I have seen. Now, Laterras can yap for 40 days and 40 nights. Me too, by the way, but he could be a little bit long-winded, but it's very important that we listen to this whole clip that I prepared for y'all. It's important. By the second clip, I am going to ask you guys the question that I want to ask you. So focus, guys. Let's watch.
And so the reality is, people are so used to toxicity that they'll take something that's healthy, that's beautiful, that's God-centered, and then project their insecurities, project their toxicity, project their fears on a relationship that's not possessing any of that foolishness. And so the reason why I am doing what I am doing is because I want her to have the wedding of her dreams. Let me tell you.
Listen, the wedding of her dreams. I want you to focus on things like this. The wedding of her dreams. Focus.
It's, those that have had weddings know that weddings can get extremely expensive. Extremely expensive. People spend tens of thousands of dollars for one day. And my goal is to be a good steward over the finances that God has given me and her. So it just made sense to try to create something that would attract brands to come sponsor the wedding. Now, how did that come to be? If you look on this channel, on the Dear Future Wifey podcast YouTube channel back in 2020, we sponsored 3 couples getting married. I spent $12,000 out of my own pocket for it. And let me tell you what happened is that during the pandemic, a lot of couples' weddings were canceled. And my daughter was going to get married. And so I had this venue. She decided she didn't want to have a big wedding. She wanted to have something very small, intimate, about 20 people. So I had this huge venue that I already had a deposit on. So I felt like I heard God tell me, go ahead and bless other people and help them get married. So I did this big call out on Facebook at the time and said, who wants to get married, whose wedding was canceled. And we had 3 couples have a group wedding. Shout out to Pastor Wilford, who...
Very nice, Laterras. I have to say that was a very nice gesture. Not selfish, not self-centered. Although I didn't know if you put that out or you're putting it out now, but I have to say this is very nice.
Initiated that wedding. And we put this wedding on in a matter of like 2 weeks or something. It was real short. You look at the video, I say it in that. But after I went through all that and I spent $12,000 of my money to help bless other people getting married, and then other people came and donated and helped these couples. So I couldn't have done it without them. But I spent $12,000 hard-earned dollars out of my pocket to bless other folks. And God told me, if you think that I'm not going to take care of you because you blessing other folks, he said, watch what happens when it's your time. Because I really be hearing things that God says, and I go, nah, not for me.
I think we can all relate. You know, at times that you're thinking like, nah, I think he's going to skip me this time. We can relate. I'm still with him somewhat.
So now I'm in that season to walk out the promise. I'm in that season to go from the wilderness into the promised land. And so walking to the promised land is to bless this amazing woman. This is her first marriage. To bless this amazing woman, just drop the clue. To bless this woman with a wedding that will blow her mind, to make her feel like a queen. What greater gift to give to her with her humility and submission to walk through this thing of being called the mystery bride, and then to have all eyes on her when she walks down the aisle, because we're going to stream this wedding live.
Listen, so I was blessed with a platform. Therefore, I will let my sponsors pay for the wedding. So the people that really focused in, that's what we heard up to now. The sponsor's going to pay for the wedding. And, I was blessed with this platform. And what greater gift that I have this platform to bless this woman with a wedding of her. This is her first wedding. I am going to bless this woman with the wedding of her dreams. Yes? We're all on board? It's nice. It's nice what he said. Okay. Let's continue.
What greater gift to have her look absolutely beautiful, to know that I did everything in my power to use the platform that God has curated in the last 5 years that was for her, a gift to her. This platform was my personal journey to discover, uncover, and recover love, and she is the love that was recovered. And to bookend this journey by saying, here, let's celebrate you as loud as you can be celebrated, as beautifully as you can be celebrated, as big as you can be celebrated, and try to spare no expense.
Try to spare no expense, as big as you can be celebrated, as grand and glorious as you are. Spare no expense. Sit back. Clip 2.
A beautiful wedding, man, and thank you for allowing me to be a part.
No, thank you for coming.
Your celebration, man, and your union. We're a money show, bro, and I did some research. 67% of marriages take on debt for the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Among those, 67%, 53% of those have had money arguments before the wedding. Now, 2-part question for you. How has the money conversation been with you and your spouse? Because both of you all are prime in y'all's particular spaces.
Right.
Right. And then as a student of love from interviewing, I'm curious, what has been your study when it comes to money and marriages and money and relationships?
From the financial standpoint of our own marriage, I didn't expect our wedding to cost what it did. I mean, it cost $150,000.
$150,000?
$150,000.
150?
150. You gotta say 50.
150, bro?
Yes, and I didn't expect for it to be that. I wanted to get married in Dallas because Dallas was a whole lot more affordable to have a marriage. LA, everything is 3 times, you can Google it.
Yeah.
It's 3 times the cost of any other market to get married. So our initial conversation was where we're going to get married, which would dictate how much this wedding's going to cost.
Right.
When I proposed to her in LA, and even getting the decor and all.
Pause. Now, didn't you say that no expenses spared? It doesn't matter. You know, you have your sponsors, you have your platform just funding this. No expenses spared. She will have the wedding of her dreams as big as she wants. What were her words again, guys? I'm going to put it up on the screen if I can do a little edit magic.
As beautifully as you can be celebrated.
What did he say?
As big as you can be celebrated. And try to spare no expense.
No expenses spared. Now we're talking about Dallas, LA. It might be a little bit too expensive because, you know, $150,000. Let's continue.
That for the engagement, I said, "Oh, I can't get married in LA. It's too expensive." And so I was like scared to have that conversation. And then I said, "Let's just have this conversation." So I did an interview with Essence, and I told Essence, we're deciding between Dallas and LA.
Exactly. So Essence said, in order, you know, for him to do the whole interview and the whole secret bride thing, they will actually sponsor and maybe partially the wedding. So he called Essence and he was like, "Essence, listen, we are, you know, deciding between Dallas and LA. They told you they would sponsor it. I don't see what the big hassle is. But put it in the comments, guys. Maybe I missed something." And even if they said, "We are going to, you know, a small amount, I don't think they said a small amount. But it doesn't matter, Laterras, because you said you with your platform and everything, she could have the biggest wedding. You will provide." Wait.
Was 100% on Dallas. I had a church on hold, the Concord Church on hold. We was going to get married in Dallas. I just had to convince her to get married in Dallas. So I was like, "Here, you can guide it. You know, pick where you want and all that stuff." But in my mind, I was like, we ain't getting married in LA. And I would plant seeds like, LA is too expensive. LA is too expensive. It doesn't make sense to spend this kind of money. It doesn't make sense. And then she had a conversation after she found this particular venue for the reception. She said, "Can I at least just have it in LA? I'm going to be moving to Dallas. Can I just have it in LA?"
Now, you could say this is compromise between a couple, you know, but you planting seeds, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. Why are you planting the seeds? Weren't you the one saying that no expenses spared? She could have this. It is her day, as big as she wants. That's what you told us on the Dear Future Wifey podcast. I am going to give this lavish. I'm not even looking at the money. I have this. God provided for me. Now you're planting seeds in her head. You can't have this. I don't understand. Am I too strict, guys? I don't understand.
And I said, "All right, this is the first part of husbandry is compromise." I said, "Look," "it costs too much." She said, "Listen, we'll split it. You know, we'll split it. We'll on the cost of everything. I just want it here." And I said, "Bet."
You split the marriage?
We split the cost of the wedding. Absolutely.
So talk to me about that, bro, because you know the ladies were looking at you like, what?
Well, it's the reality. We both grown. So at the end of the day, her parents told us straight up, we ain't paying for the wedding. So they were like, you know, typically customary. The father pays for the wedding.
Boss, don't tell me I shouldn't have let you watch this clip. You see what I'm saying? We have to discuss. So you said all of this on your Dear Future Wifey podcast, and I am sure she saw it too. No expenses spared. This is her wedding. She could have the wedding of her dreams. This is for her. I have all my sponsors. I have my Dear Future Wifey. I am the money man. Money man Mayweather. And she could just have what, she saw it too. She was like, I got this man. Not even 2 seconds later in the thing, you are planting seeds, we can do this. Didn't you just say on the podcast, I can have whatever I want? That would be in my head if I was her. But now you go a step further and you split it. So all the things that I saw, you split. Now, I know that some people are going to say, but we are living in 2025. Things are expensive. Of course you split 50-50. And later, I am going to tell you that I am not against 50-50. But I am against not doing what you said you would do. You said, wedding of a dream. This is her moment. Now she has to already compromise. I'm already going to Dallas, but then please, can we do it? I'll pay for it. Girl, if you don't stop, I warned you, girl. Now you already paid half, and he promised to do it. Oh, God. Let's watch it. Let's finish the clip first. I am sorry, guys. I'm rambling. You see why I always have to get in his ass. This is the thing.
And he said, hey, I'm letting y'all know, I can't help out. I can't pay for it. Her mom said, hey, y'all got my blessing, but y'all ain't got my money. And so I said, fair. So as two grown adults, two entrepreneurs, we sat down and said, if we want the wedding that we want to have, we're going to pay for it. And so that's what we did. And that was the healthiest conversation, because it wasn't like she was putting unnecessary burden on me to be like, well, you need to pay for this. You need to do this. She was like, I got my own money, so let's do this together. And that taught me the type of partner I was marrying, that it was partnership from the very beginning.
And you didn't feel less than because you didn't provide all of it.
So that little toxic mindset that I have a hint of toxic masculinity from the standpoint of feeling like I have to do everything.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, while I have good intentions to be like, I want to be the provider, I want to do all that, my initial desire from Dallas was that I could manage it financially. I got tons of relationships there, so I don't have to pay the cost of everything. It's like I just have beautiful relationships. So that's what I wanted. God had to heal that in me in the process of the courtship, because he was like, but this is what your partner's for. And so when she told me that, I was like, so be honest and transparent. I was like, man, no, I don't want to have to come out of pocket.
No, you don't want to have to come out of pocket. You said you would come out of pocket. And you have all these beautiful relations there. Go and talk to the connects. You promised her the wedding of her dreams. Now she has to come out of half of her pocket. Now you're saying, I don't want to come out of pocket. Guys, listen, I don't like this. I do not like this at all, guys. I am sorry. I don't like it.
For this. Naturally, that was my first inclination. And God said, but this is partnership. Relax. Because the part of my old trauma from my past marriage, financially, when I went through the toughest season of my life financially, I no longer desired marriage, because I was saying that I couldn't provide for my wife. I had to file bankruptcy and all that. And at that time, I was like, not only am I bankrupt financially, but I felt like my marriage was bankrupt. So I started self-sabotaging in my past marriage. So then I had to face that again. God said, all right, here it is. Now, are you going to allow that ideology to be like, you got to pay for everything to reign supreme in this? Or are you going to submit to this and say, this is what partnership looks like? And I said, okay, this is uncomfortable for me, but let me embrace what's uncomfortable. And as a great partner, she helped me through that. She was like, no, I got money. We can do this. And I was like, okay. But then I heard Anthony O'Neill in my head talking about why you spend all this money on a wedding. I'm hearing you in my head, and I'm like, yeah, but Anthony, you understand, this is a wife. This is her first marriage. This is what she desires. Now, my first marriage was $30,000. My second marriage was $150,000. You know what I'm saying? And so that was 20 years ago when I was married the first time. And so I was like, I know inflation ain't that much, but but at the end of the day, here I am. And I said, Anthony he gonna take me through the ringer.
Hey, man, I'm gonna take both of y'all through the ringer, sis. Love you. There ain't no way in the world I'm spending $150,000 on a wedding.
But it was nice though, wasn't it? Wasn't it pretty?
I don't have to hear anymore. Guys, let me know what you think. Listen, it got dark, guys. Work with me. Work with your girl. I am not against splitting things 50-50 and everything. I am not against it at all. But what it is for me is that You promised her a total different experience. And now she has to come out of pocket. And if you are telling us 50-50. So that meant she came out of pocket $75,000. I'm not even talking about the fact that this whole thing was $150,000. You told us in that clip you had a 26-course menu. I never heard of such a thing before, but put it in the comments, guys. Maybe you had a 26-course. And if you don't believe me that he said that, let me put the clip for you.
You know, some stuff can be a little ostentatious. You'd be like, well, you spent this money unnecessarily.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like, this is our special day. Saying, was that uncomfortable for me to spend that kind of money? Absolutely. But to treat the guest to a 26-course meal, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of that, it was like, it just is what it is.
So I'm not against it, but Laterras, this woman already, we got in her ass already like, sis, know who you're dealing with. But then, of course, the man doesn't have to carry the whole burden. But weren't you the one that put all your money literally where your mouth was and told her you will get the wedding of your dreams? I have the connects, one side. I have the sponsors, other side. Then I have that whole revenue of that podcast. Girl, you are set. That's what you told her. That's what you told us. And from day one, you said it yourself, planting seeds. We cannot have it there. No expenses spared. That's what you said. That's the last sentence that you said. So that means sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. But there was a limit, Laterras. Guys, what do you think? Are you like, Deb, calm down? You know, they just split it. It is okay. He said at first that he was going to pay everything, but then he changed his mind, and it is what it is, Deb. Let it be. Or is it her that needs to do all those compromises starting off like that? I am fine with 50-50, but what I'm not fine with is a man that doesn't do what he said he would do. You said you would give her the wedding of her dreams. Now you just come in and she has to pay $75,000. That was not in my budget. I didn't think of that. Because on your podcast, where I was sitting back on the couch listening as your future wifey, I heard you say, I'm going to do this for her. So I just thought I had to just pay the cake and, some bridesmaids things and whatever. I can't wait to hear your comments again. And, I'll keep you posted. Laterras, as long as you keep doing this, I'm going to be on your ass. For all the people that don't like this, I told you this time and time again, do not click the video. Don't do it to yourself. But for all my peeps, for all my Dev Unfiltered lovers, put it in the comments. What is this again? Thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for hanging out with your girl again. It's getting dark, guys. I really need to end this video, but I'll see you in the next one. Peace.